It's not easy. Sometimes it's downright hard. So why do we choose to live the homesteading lifestyle? The farmer and I had grandparents that lived through the Great Depression. My grandparents got married in August of 1929 before the stock market crashed in October, just 2 months later. During the 10 years of the Great Depression, they had 4 children, but they were farmers and knew how to grow food and raise meat animals. Grandma sewed their clothes and put up the food they raised in the garden. Grandpa raised cattle, pigs, and sheep. They also had chickens for eggs and meat. I'm sure that living on a farm during this time made it easier for them than it would have been if they'd lived in the city, where they wouldn't have had the land to raise as much food. I can't imagine how hard those times must have been. Both my mother and the farmer's mother raised gardens and put up food. The farmer grew up on a farm and I grew up in the suburbs, but I remember canning tomatoes and pickles, green beans and relish every summer. And on my sister's birthday every year, we were shucking corn to preserve that. Happy birthday, Kamala. Here's your bushel of corn. I never thought about whether or not other kids' mothers were preserving food like we did. It was just our way of life. At the time, I would have rather been outside playing than helping my mother can tomatoes, but I learned valuable skills that I use every summer now on our homestead. Mother also taught me to sew, and for years I made many of my own clothes. I still love to sew and crochet. The farmer not only learned to care for animals when he was growing up on the farm, he learned how to use tractors, mowers, balers, and other farm machinery. That's where we learned our skills, from our parents. But why do we continue to live this life? For multiple reasons. We like knowing where our food is coming from. We grow our garden mostly organically, so we know exactly what we are eating. And we preserve the food we grow to have at least 12 to 24 months on the shelves. When the grocery store shelves were bare a couple of years ago, this was important. We raise our calves on pasture, so we have grass-fed beef in the freezers. We raise our chickens knowing they have quality food and lots of room to run around, so they have good lives until their one bad day. I love our animals. They make me laugh. It's fun to watch the ducks waddling across the yard, the rooster presenting one of the hens a bug he just found, or the guinea sounding the alarm because someone left a bucket in the wrong place in the yard. We make most of our food from scratch. This saves so much money. I can make a loaf of bread for less than $1, and I have no idea how much it costs to buy because I haven't bought a loaf in years. I would guess at least $2 or $3. I make homemade noodles, soup, cookies, and laundry detergent. I even make homemade apple cider vinegar, which we use for cooking and cleaning. We fix things that break rather than replace them unless they are broken beyond repair, which is rare. This saves us money and keeps items that are still usable out of the landfills. We use herbal medicine rather than run to the doctor for every little health issue that comes along. Because we eat good food that we've grown ourselves, we rarely get sick. But when we have an issue that comes up, most often we reach for an herbal remedy first. It does help that I took a class on herbal medicine in pharmacy school, but mostly I've taught myself about how herbs work. Probably the most important reason we choose to live a homesteading lifestyle is because we are very independent. We don't want to have to rely on outside sources for our food, clothing, healthcare, and we like paying for what we need up front rather than taking out loans. I homeschooled our son back in the 90s when that really wasn't a thing. And if we had children that were school age today, I would homeschool them for certain. We don't like to turn over control of any aspect of our lives to anyone. By reducing our dependence on external resources, we have become more resilient, save money, and live a more sustainable lifestyle. So we live at the old Mayfield place, and we couldn't be happier. Thanks for stopping by the old Mayfield place today. Stay healthy, take your first steps towards self-sufficiency, and have a blessed week.